Hi folks, and welcome back to some more Ultimate General Civil War, and today is the 31st of May 1862, and we're going to be refighting the Battle of Seven Pines. One of the more influential battles in the American Civil War, but for none of the reasons that you might expect, as we'll get into in a moment as I give you an overview of the strategic and tactical situation in the spring of 1862. But first, if you're watching this on a 2K or a 4K monitor, just let me know in the comments if it looks okay. I've started to render my recordings in 4K resolution in my video editor. I don't have a 4K monitor plugged in, but I think it looks all right. Let me know in the comments. I'd really appreciate that. Just make sure you go into the little cog settings on YouTube and make sure you're watching at the correct resolution. And I'd be really interested to hear if it looks okay, as I hope it does. Anyway, the Battle of Seven Pines. So in the spring, I'll try and bring up some Civil War maps to show you as I'm editing this. In the spring of 1862, the Union Army of the Potomac, under the command of General McClellan, instead of coming overland to attack Richmond, the Confederate capital, from the north and overland, which was the obvious route, decided to land on the Yorktown Peninsula at Fortress Monroe, which the Union still held, and advance up the peninsula, a fairly narrow strip of land, to attack Richmond effectively from the sea. It's a very complicated and expensive job getting the army down there, but there is some sense to it. Both sides was protected by water, so his army couldn't be outflanked. Now, General McClellan was an extremely cautious general, to a fault, always believing the enemy outnumbered him. Whether he genuinely believed that, or whether he used that as an excuse for not taking aggressive action, who's to say? But he basically let the Confederate soldiers retreat all the way up in front of him. And the Confederates were commanded by Joseph Johnston at this stage, who was also a fairly cautious commander. However, he was cautious in the sense that he preferred to preserve the strength of his army when faced with disadvantageous odds, i.e. when he was outnumbered, rather than fight in unproductive conflicts that would just weaken his army further. So he pulled his men back. It was a fairly good trait. At the Battle of Seven Pines, he spotted an opportunity. This was almost at the gates of Richmond. The Confederate government were pressing him to take some aggressive action to try and throw back what they saw as the northern invaders. And at the Battle of Seven Pines, he had his opportunity. McClellan made possibly a bit of a mistake and separated part of his army out and got them onto the other side of the river away from the main bulk of the army. Heavy rains at the time of this, and the battlefield was basically a swamp, and this had a huge impact on the events to come. It meant that a lot of the roads and bridges were just unusable. This detachment of soldiers, quite a big force, on the wrong side of the river, was certainly ripe for destruction if the Confederates could get their act together. So Johnson designed this plan where the different corps of his army, or the different forces under his command, I should maybe say, I don't know if they were organised into corps at this stage, would surround this detachment and attack from multiple sides, and it would be a wipeout. It was possibly one of the better engineered plans, but the worst communicated and executed, because this was just a calamity of errors from start to finish. For a start, Johnson didn't give his subordinate generals clear instructions. The guy who was supposed to kick the fight off, Hoosier, was only given vague orders to attack if he had allies on his left. So when he came up into position, the people who were supposed to be there weren't there, or he was in the wrong place. He didn't get the battle kicked off until way later in the day. And when things did kick off, nobody was in the place they should have been, partly because some of the bridges and roads were underwater and the units weren't able to use the right approaches to get to where they needed to be. To make matters even worse, no one bothered to tell Johnson of what was going on. No one sent riders out and couriers and officers to see where everyone else was. It was just such a badly communicated and poorly executed battle. And naturally, it didn't work, and the Union didn't get destroyed. The Confederates took a load more casualties, but it just highlighted lots of failings in high command that maybe the Confederates learned from, maybe not. However, the thing that made the biggest difference in this battle, General Johnson himself was wounded later in the day and had to be replaced in command. Now, it didn't happen immediately, but eventually Robert E. Lee became the commander of the Army of Northern Virginia, as it then became known, a much more aggressive general, open to taking huge risks. And of course, if you've read any Civil War history, you'll know that he was quite the legend on both sides, actually, for the chances he took, the risks he took, many of which paid off, some didn't. Whether that was better for the war for the Confederates is open to historical debate, because a lot of the aggressive action he took cost the South a lot of casualties, whereas a more defensive-minded general might have been willing to give up land, which the South had a lot of, to preserve its armies. It's a huge debate, but it had a huge impact on the course of the war in the East. Anyway, history lesson over. Let's jump into the Battle of Seven Pines and see what we get. So we are the Union Army, of course, or part of the Union Army. We really don't want to be surrounded and destroyed by the Confederates. And I don't know how many forces we're going to get to engage here. This is leading up to one of the battles of the 7 Day campaigns, which will be bigger. Is this all we get? While our army is preparing on the outskirts of Richmond the final assault against the rebel capital, we've received an attack to our force south of Chickahominy River at Seven Pines. The rebel initiative seems successful and our line is almost broken at the centre. We need to act immediately, reinforce and stabilise our front line. I'm going to throw in the first corps for this. I'm hoping we get more brigades come up. I'm hoping this isn't going to be a small fight. It was one of the bigger battles in the East to this day. In fact, it might have been the biggest battle in the East up to this date. I don't think it was as big as the Battle of Shiloh in the West, though. Situation is critical. Our centre is under heavy pressure and will soon collapse. The rebels will attack our divided forces and destroy them in detail. And this, of course, was the rebel plan. Advance a division, reinforce the centre of our line and stabilise our battlefront. The rest of your force will take positions north of the river at Gaines Mill. Okay, so that's where we're going to see them next, where the rebel attack is expected. Right, we have... Okay, so these guys, I see what's happening. These aren't our force, these are other Union forces, and we're playing the reinforcements coming up. So we need to retake the centre of our line. So who have we got then? We've got Baerbock, Jedi's Brigade, Badger's Brigade, Chris Pinckney's Brigade, and the Ohio Outlaws, along with Frangus's artillery. Where's a good spot for the artillery? Nice open space, but also protected and supported. I suggest up here. So let's bring the artillery to a position where they can advance here and give good supporting fire. And keep the supplies in reserve. Okay, let's start this battle and let's get people moving up. Let's go over there and let's get the artillery into this field and just bring these guys up. I imagine these Union brigades will probably falter fairly quickly. So let's go and see what we've got here. We've got rebels in the south, Garland's Brigade, Hood's Brigade, famous Texas Brigade, Hampton's Legion. So the Rebs have gone in quite heavy-handed. We'll have to see what we actually meet. Are we in charge? Are we in charge of these guys? We are, yep. Halt. Just fall back a bit. In fact, maybe fall back a lot, because I don't think we can hold that. And we're going to have to approach this. In fact, let's use troops that aren't ours to go and see what's there that we have to face. Oh god, this doesn't look good. Carr's Brigade. Fall back. Right, can we get both of those? We want you guys to be positioned like that, I think. Berries and Bernies are going up. Let's get two brigades in behind them, ready to advance. And Francis's artillery is going for it. The Ohio Outlaws had better come up here, and we'll throw out some skirmishers as well to go and protect our flank as best we can. So those... Oh, actually, these guys did hold this northern flank. I am most impressed at that. I'm going to try and put Abercrombie's brigade back into those buildings. They've got nice rifles. If we can get the cover benefit of being here, I'm just going to run them into position and then we turn that off. Yeah, they're getting some nice cover there. That's good. This would be the moment to attack across here. But we're not in position and I don't want to take any unnecessary casualties. I'm just going to drop some skirmishers into these woods to cover the flank here. Robinson's brigade. I would say there's only skirmishers in there. Skirmishers forward. Let's go see what we can find. Advance. I think I'm going to hold steady on that side. I'm just going to put Jedi's Brigade up like that, because I'm worried about this bit here. I don't want the artillery to get charged. Okay, you start shooting up Hood's men. I feel like we're fairly solid in the south, so that's good news. Badger's men. Oh, here we go. Road Brigade coming in. Abercrombie's guys did withdraw. I'm going to throw somebody else into this. Oh, that is a fairly heavy sort of punchy attack coming in. That is on the double. And I'm just going to put Abercrombie's men into the woods there to cover that flank. Right. Yep. What we need to do is very quickly throw some support in there before Barney's brigade gets overwhelmed. Advance. 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 You guys withdraw. Sorry, not withdraw. Rejoin. Well, there's Anderson's guys knocked out, which is good news. Oh, we got some big forces coming right across there. Right, we probably need to mask the artillery a bit here. Position up. Higher outlaws, get on the flank over there. They're just marching in column straight in here. Can we possibly... We found some more men down there. Okay, I'm going to come out of the woods. Oh, crap. Am I going to come out of the woods? No, I'm not. We have a problem. Come on, we've got to just join in here now. We've got to get these big brigades of good quality soldiers in and overwhelm these smaller ones. Hampton's men taking a good pounding in the middle there. Burney's brigade falls back, but doesn't withdraw. Okay, that's good. That's good. We've got a position fairly strong up there, which is good news. I'm going to deploy skirmishers and put them out in the field because I want some vision. Same down here. Berry's men can just come up to try and support the artillery. Let's get the artillery onto the line, I think. Get them nice and close. Frangus's battery, they're the 12-pounders. They should be able to do some nice work. So in the south, we should be okay to... Oh, God, yeah, the range brigade has appeared. Bring out the skirmishers and threaten that flank. I will move the artillery up a bit. Robinson's men push on. Okay, looks like Baerbock. I'm still struggling with that name, is going in. We should be okay here. We should be able to see what's going on. We've spotted the rebel artillery. There's quite a lot of stuff down here. Okay, skirmishers. That's nice. We've got these guys hopefully flanked at this point. I'm going to pull these guys forward, actually. Run in and get some proper flanking fire into that. That really should. That really should. Watch this. Aim. Volley fire. Look at that. That is quite brutal. Okay, we've still got quite a force over here. Advance. On the double. I think it's time. I think it's time to throw everything in here. Okay, this is looking fairly solid. We've chased those guys off. We have D.H. Hill's corps over there. Yeah, they were in corps, I think, by this stage. They were using the corps system. Right, Hood's men coming in. Form up. I think the important thing is just to advance at this stage. You guys rejoin over there. And the artillery, I think, would be better suited down here. And let's leave Bernie's brigade over there and actually get me up on the front line where I can make a difference. Carr's men are going to see some more action down here. There's quite a lot of nuisance rebel forces down here. Do I want to expose that flank? I'm not sure I do. Okay, you guys come and... Is it that way around? No, it's that way around. I'll bring Abercrombie down to here, but the skirmishers are going to come and shoot this guy. We're losing some casualties up there. Tell you what, let's bring everybody out where they can now fight. We just need to fit everyone in. Are we going to push? I think this looks fairly stable. I'll leave Robinson's brigade there. Come on then, it is time to advance. Francis' artillery is now in position. Aim. Fire. Oof, that is some heavy firepower coming in there. Yeah, that would often stop a charge in its tracks. And then the charging unit would resort to like just close range shooting until one side broke. Yeah, Hood's men have just... Well, they took a volley, but they also saw some routing units and got caught up in that. That happened a lot as well. And it always has done in warfare. Did we chase off the artillery? I'd say we've got them here, boys. So it looks like the 7 pines in this game is going to be considerably smaller than the one that really happened. I think that the real battle happened over 2 days, although most of it was on the first day. And the second day, very little of anything is achieved, except to lose more soldiers. Not getting a whole lot of artillery going on in there. Yep, I'd say the Rebs are beat here, unless they have something coming to outflank me. What's this up here? Oh, I've left some artillery behind. That's bad of me. Are they going to mount up for another attack? I suspect when we get to the Battle of Gaines Mill, we're going to get both corps involved. I think that's going to be a much bigger fight. They seem to be on the retreat now, so let's get in there. Everybody in, please. That is a crowded field of bodies. I'm just doing a general advance at this point. The enemy don't have a great position for anything. We're losing some soldiers up there, but it's okay. We've chased off the enemy artillery nicely. Bring the skirmishers down here. Anything dangerous happening in the south? No, it is not. It's just a case of we're just pushing them now. We'll bring in the Ohios again. Jedi's soldiers are... They weren't a full strength brigade beforehand, so that's okay. We'll just put Howe's men over there just to keep an eye on anything else coming. Okay, let's bring in the Ohio Outlaws again. Go on, Badger. Blocked? What's blocking them? What's possibly... There you go. Just deliver that volley. 666. Oof, that's a good one. Flanking fire is always the way to go in this if you can. I know if you guys have downloaded this and played it since I've started streaming it. Always keen to hear your thoughts. The game does have some faults. There are mods available as well, so do look those up if you want to alter it a little bit. One of the common complaints I hear is that it doesn't matter how hard you beat the enemy army, there's always more of them come back for the next battle. And yeah, it's not like an historical campaign. If you want something like that, then I've also got Grand Tactician Civil War, which is reasonably good. It has battles like this that I don't think look quite as good, but results in that matter more, I would say. And you've got full control over the government and economy and building and the entire map and moving your armies across the map. Whereas this game is more designed as a bit of an experience to play a linked series of battles, if you like, across the war. And yeah, the AI do seem to be... I don't remember them being quite as aggressive as this, I'm going to be honest. But if you play with your units supporting each other, you'll be fine. I do want to assure you that I'm expecting tougher fights when we get later on further into the game. At the moment, the enemy seem quite happy just to walk up and get blasted in the face and then disappear. I might as well bring more soldiers down and just turn this into a complete rout to see if we can capture some more stuff. Having said that, there's not really much of the enemy left to worry about. Pettigrew. Bring on Badger's men. Did take some losses, but inflicted them at 4-1. Okay, looks like it's going to be a nice simple fight. Nearly over. Can you guys actually go and capture their supplies? We're shooting at something that's fleeing at the moment. I need to get the right one here. That's the charge button. We don't want to make that mistake anymore. They're fleeing off the battlefield in this direction now. Curious. You may as well rejoin. I'm not sure where they're running to. I guess they've got nowhere to run to. Anyway, we have swept the field, and I don't see the point in gaming that any further, so let's finish that right there. So yeah, a terrible result for the Confederates. They did lose this battle historically. They did take more casualties in the attack than they inflicted, partly because it was such a complicated and badly executed mess. Great idea, but it just didn't work, sadly. Anyone injured? Nope, I think we're okay. Most effective unit was actually the two that aren't under our control. And then the Ohio Outlaws did good. Badger's Brigade, as always. Okay, excellent. So we'll take a look at the Battle of Gaines Mill as well. We've got some additional recruits just to top everything up. We've got some career points. We have 1. Politics for money and men would be good. Army organization. What do we get at the next level of this? We get 3 corps, 4 division per corps, 5 brigades per division, which I think we've currently got that, have we not? I think we're up to that. Economy just makes stuff cheaper. Medicine's always good. I'm happy to get that. Yeah, go on. I'm going to put it into medicine. I'm happy to do that until we've got it maxed out, and then we get the most number of recruits back after a battle, which is cool. In the armory. Oh, one thing you're going to see. Let me explain this. We now have a new brigade come up. If someone would like to command this, then you are free to. I'll rename it. This is just the name of the commander. These are skirmishers, which weren't present in that fight. They're like they are basically a small unit of infantry. It's a 500 strong brigade. That's max strength. They're like sharpshooters. They're armed with special rifles that have extra long range. These are the basic versions. There are better ones coming later on. Actually, can we see any yet? Better skirmishing weapons. Yes, these things. Although we don't have enough, and they're very expensive. They did actually have early telescopic sights on these sort of things, but they're just more effective. They're good for sniping off artillery batteries and flanking enemy forces. So they are going to be in the game. Other than that, let's see what we can produce. We want to try and get guys strengthened up, so let's put some... How many? We only have 200 of these in the... We're going to have to spend some money then. We can't not spend the money here, I think. I could boost that up to 2,000. I don't want to lose stats. Oh, I'm gonna lose some anyway. Nah, we'll try and... I want to try and earn that second star. So we're going to go with that. We'll get them just over 1,500. As long as they're 1,500. The higher outlaws, I think we can probably afford to put them back up to 2,000. Yeah, we can. And Frangus's battery. We have 2 of these in the armory and some in the shop. Can I get this to 24? Ka-chunk. I can. Okay. Yeah. That's maximum upgrade. Doesn't cost a lot. 24 gun battery. Those are quite good. Let's see. There's no one hit 2 stars yet, but we're not far off. So we'll leave the strength as they are. Save our money for the upcoming fight. Lorenz rifles aren't bad, actually. Tall's brigade didn't get in there. Can we actually change that to something else in the shop? We've got lots of the crap stuff. There's the Springfield 1855. We don't have a lot of these, so I think we're probably... We have 2,000 of those in the armory, though. I think what I'll do... Do I want to buy them? There's nothing wrong with Lorenz rifles. They're actually quite good. We'll save them for now, because we will have some casualties to replace at the end of the next fight. Yeah, we're at 5 brigades per division at the moment. So, we have the 10-pounder ordnance. I'm going to try and boost this up to 24. We do take a bit of a hit. I'll leave it like that for now. I don't want to take too much of a hit. Do I? Oh, sod it. Sod it. They'll learn to use them. The Yorkshires are just in there. These guys didn't get involved. I don't think we have any better cavalry weapons that we can afford. Nope. There's not enough in stock on anything. Cascade cannons. They didn't get involved, sadly. So we won't produce... we won't increase their numbers. Over in the second corps, Clemens Brigade is going to be a weak one going into the next fight. Let's see. Everything else should be okay. Welcome to Bargis Brigade. I put you in there. We can actually change your weapons. We don't need you with those. We've got some... I did see something. 2,000 Springfields.
Yes, sir.
So there you go. You've got some proper rifles now. Not that you ever got to fight without them, of course. I could increase... Oh, no. This is... B's battery is still learning. So... I could put... If I put a major in there... We've got a captain at the moment. It is nice to try and train up the lower ranks. I'll do that. We'll train them up. Do we want more infantry or more artillery in our 3rd division? We have a huge artillery battery, which we're expecting to be quite ineffective. Oh, what I might do for B's battery is change, now that we have the money. In the shop, we only need 12. 12-pound howitzers are not great, shall we say. 12-pounder Napoleons would be a nice improvement. There's nothing too exotic at the moment. Go on then, we're going to go with 12-pounder Napoleons, because these are highly effective.
Sir, yes, sir!
There, that is a nice improvement. Cummins battery was that. Henry's guns are those. For a laugh, I think I'm going to put in another artillery brigade. By the way, if anyone wants to command either Henry's or this one, you are welcome. And we're not going to go 6-pounder fields. We're going to go 12-pounder howitzers, just because we can. And I've got Lieutenant Colonel. Do we not have a captain I can put in this? No, we don't. Okay.
Yes, sir.
In that case, I'm going to switch these around. You're going to get the Lieutenant Colonel. Apply.
Yes, sir.
Oh, I never created this thing? Damn it. And then switch over to 12-pounder howitzers. I want to show you guys how these work. And they've got a captain. How high can we... I mean, I could go 24. That's crazy. They're gonna struggle with that. I'm gonna go 12. With a captain, I'm gonna go 8. And we're gonna level them up slowly. Because they're not gonna have a huge... If I do that now, look. Yeah, we can go to... Actually, we can go to 12 with a captain. It starts to drop off a little bit. I'm gonna go 12. That's fine. These are not great guns, but we have some in the shop. I could sell them for cash, but we'll re-equip something better. I just want to show you how they work. Alright, so I think we are ready to go for the next battle. Should be interesting times ahead. I think, actually, could we increase the number of... No, efficiency is going to drop down. Okay, that's fine. So over on the battles map, we have the Battle of Gaines Mill. There's an awful lot of fame points awarded for this, and money, so this is going to be a big fight on this one. We can take a look at it, and then we will play it on the next episode. Yeah, both corps getting involved in this. This is going to be good. This is a big one. This is one that the rebels historically won, and it had General Lee in charge of the Confederate forces, so this is going to be a lot more aggressive. Not that we've seen a lack of aggression so far, but anyway, that's going to be the next battle. Let me know your thoughts on this as still, and if you're enjoying this, I always love to hear about it, and we shall see you on the next one. Goodbye for now.